pricing. So I've talked about this on numerous videos, but I'm going to say it again in case you haven't seen the video. The reason why this is coming up because one, we're about to get into the fall, so we see the prices dropping. Number two, I just drove past the McDonald's where I used to work at, and there's a sign that they're doing a sale. That's the things are like 2 for 3. I know the one was like chicken nuggets. I think the one was like a fish fillet, and I don't know what the other thing is. I think that's what it was. I don't really know. I saw the nuggets. I know for sure it's the nuggets. Okay. So here's my biggest gripe with this, especially when I was working there. Number one is like when you're discounting, like when you're doing 2 for 3. One, the like that 6 nugget or whatever they end up doing, maybe it's 4 nugget, I don't really know. But like normally it's more than $3, right? So not only was it more than $3, but now you're giving two sets of them for less than the original price, right? What could be wrong with that? Well, one, obviously your profitability is going way down. This I've talked about numerous times. So this is important because if you need to make, I'm just throwing out numbers, but if you need to make $5,000 in the course of the week and you average $1,000 per job, well, then you need to book 5 jobs, right? Well, what happens when it starts slowing down, you want to book more jobs because you're like, I need more jobs, not like I need to make X amount of money because that's how everyone thinks. Well, what happens is before you might have been getting, 2, 3, 4 calls a day, something like that. Well, in the fall time, because you have less calls coming in, go just say from 4 calls to 2 calls, right? So what are those numbers? So if you get 4 calls a day times 5, so that's 20 calls in the course of a week. You need to book 5 jobs. So what's that? 25% closing rate, right? Okay. So now you only get 2 calls a day. So that's 10 calls a day. So really you need to book at 50%, right? In order to make the same amount of money. But the problem is you discounted your pricing. So you might take like 500 off. And you're like, it's only $500. No, it's 50% of your profit because you had $1,000 profit. You took $500 off of that job. Just say it's a $5,000 job. You're making $1,000. Now you're like, I'm going to do it for 4,500, hoping to book the job. But now you're only making $5,000, $500. So now you technically need to book 10 jobs, right? Off of 10 calls. So now you need to have a 100% closing rate in order to book those jobs. And is it going to happen? No, right? And I see this all the time. And I understand. Like, I used to do it. My wife still wants to do it. Like, I understand. But you're really, like, if you're in a bad situation because it's slowing down and everything else, you're putting yourself in a much worse position than you were before. Okay. That's number one. Okay. Number two is now you have to do double the amount of jobs. And chances are, if you're watching this, well, and not everyone, because there's a few people that are ahead of the game, but most people are already working 60 plus hours a week. Well, what happens if you have to put in twice the amount of jobs? And of course, these are just random numbers, so it may not be twice. Maybe it's only 30% more jobs or 40%. But realistically, if you're already working 60 hours a week and you have to do 40, 50% more jobs, can you realistically do that? Any answers? No, right? So it's just this snowball effect of a nightmare situation. On top of that, what I've personally found is the lower my prices are, the bigger the pain in the ass these customers are. Like I've seen the different there's things like that they post on Facebook and stuff like that and different images and basically like if it's if for the project just say you charge $1,000, like the customer is literally nitpicking over every little thing. But as soon as if it was $10,000 for the same product, that different customer that actually has the money and just wants it done because they value their time more than like a few bucks, well, they are easier to deal with. It happens all the time. Literally every time we discount or we're like a new price match or whatever, every single time we do it, it's a headache every time. So that's all I got for today. I am now, if anyone has any tips, not that anyone really watches the shit, but that's okay too, is I am going to Home Depot because we took over this new sections over a retail counter and all that kind of stuff, but the linoleum floors, they look like shit. So I'm trying to figure out a way because they're all like dull and everything else. And honestly, what I would love to do is we're going to end up doing the whole epoxy flooring and do some like crazy design. But unfortunately, I'm trying to be Not unfortunately. Fortunately, I'm trying to be responsible for once in my life and be like, you know what? I am not going to, do this until we're hitting 4 orders per day for this new business. So that is my goal. That is what I want to hit because one, it'll be profitable, and two, because I really want these freaking floors, and I don't want to do it myself because I hate doing this shit. Because it's always like this, like I'm going back and forth to freaking Home Depot because I want to save some money. So I don't want to do that. Like I want like really cool ass floors. I don't know what I want at this point, but like insane. But anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you have any tips on how to, I guess I'm just gonna polish and shine the shit out of this linoleum floor, and hopefully it's not slippery as shit, and then get sued on top of that. Like that's what I'm gonna say. So hope you're doing well. Talk to you soon.